Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I wanted to upload my review of the Diamond Casino Heist DLC. It has been over a week since this DLC has been released, and a lot of people refer to it as the Casino Heist. That's also what I'll be referring to this DLC as for short. And this DLC, was it worth the wait? Was it worth the hype? Yes, it was, in my opinion. This is one of the best DLCs that Rockstar's ever released. When we look back on GT Online, we will remember this DLC as one of the best DLC. That's not to say that this DLC doesn't have problems. It does have a few things I think could have been a little better. But for the most part, this DLC is great. So let's start out with what the Diamond Casino Heist is exactly. So the Diamond Casino Heist is a new DLC, and this is kind of, I guess, part 2 of the Casino DLC, because if we didn't have the Casino DLC, we wouldn't have this DLC. And like we had in the Casino DLC in July of 2019, basically we had a big casino, we walk into it, we can play a bunch of different games, slots, roulette, blackjack, 3-card poker, horse betting. There's a lot of games in there, a lot of mini games, and it was kind of a gambling update. We had a few new vehicles, and we had a penthouse also, and we could customize it to some extent. They also let us put different things in the penthouses depending on what we got in the store, so we can move some things around. We also had, the casino story missions, and the casino story missions are kind of relevant to this heist because part of it with Vincent is linked directly to the story in this, and also with how Duggan acquired the casino. On top of that, we also had casino work with Miss Baker. And this DLC basically picks up after the story ended with the casino DLC. Vincent got fired, Duggan's nephew has taken over the casino, and Lester supposedly sends you a text message at the beginning of the DLC telling you to meet him in the park, and he tells you that he has a new big job planned. And you find out that this is actually not from Lester, but it's actually from Georgina, and Georgina is Georgina Chang. She is actually the daughter of Senior Chang. He was the boss of the Triads that was actually killed in the single-player campaign in GTA 5. She is also the brother to Tao Cheng, who appears in the casino storyline, and he also appears in GTA 5 single-player campaign. Now, Georgina hacked Lester's phone for the purpose of you meeting Lester to get a heist team ready to hit the Diamond Casino Resort. And the reason that she wants the casino hit is she wants it as payback, because the Duggans have taken over the casino from the Changs, and she wants them to suffer for it. Now, in order to start the heist, we need to buy an arcade business. This is the new property that was added as part of the Casino Heist DLC. And you don't need the arcade business to play in the Casino Heist. You could get invited by somebody, but if you want to host it, you need the arcade business. And the arcade business has a lot of different customization, a lot of different flooring, styles, neon art, a lot of different extras that you can add to this. So it does have a variety of customization. And in this DLC, I spent close to around $13 million. I spent over $4 million on the arcade business itself. I then spent a few $1,000,000 actually buying all the machines. I ordered every single arcade machine. And then I also bought the heist practice equipment. I bought the practice vault, I bought the model, and I bought the practice hacking minigame as well. So I spent around $13 million on this DLC. I didn't have to get everything. I pretty much got everything that I could. I didn't get all the vehicles, but I did get pretty much all the upgrades for the property. Now, some people, they might be saying 13 million, this DLC is overpriced. No, I don't think it's overpriced. And the reason that I don't think it's overpriced, while it is a little bit more pricey than the Casino DLC, I will admit to that, I thought it was fairly priced. Because if we compare this DLC to past DLCs, if we compare this to gun running, for instance, it comes nowhere near the amount that gun running cost. And if we compare it to Arena Wars, it costs nowhere near the amount as Arena Wars did. So I think personally that it was fairly priced. Now let's talk about the arcade business and how it works. The arcade business is a front for the heist. The above ground portion of the arcade business has your different machines. You can move around those different machines. You can play all the different machines. There's a lot of games to play here. And the arcade business actually does make you some money. If you buy all the machines, so you have the max number of machines, it will make you about $5,000 every 48 hours. And it will make you a total of $50,000 in the safe. And then you can take it out. It won't make any more past $50,000. And some people, they were saying that this is worse than nightclub popularity. And while, it does make a little bit less than nightclub popularity at max, where nightclub popularity would make $10,000 every 48 minutes. I think the arcade business is better, because for the arcade business, we don't need to do any kind of extra activities. the arcade business will just generate money for us regardless. The nightclub, we need to do constant popularity missions. Though, I am a little bit disappointed that the arcade business did not have any kind of missions. I was really hoping that we would have some kind of side missions. When I saw Wendy in the phone, I thought that Wendy would call you from time to time and give you some kind of extra mission, you get money for it, and your arcade business would make a little bit more. So I do like the arcade business doesn't constantly require us to do popularity missions. I am a little disappointed that the business did not have any kind of unique missions. I was really hoping it would have some kind of missions theming on the arcade business, but the DLC is mostly centered towards the heist. So how does the heist do? The heist is great because when you first start out the heist, you have to scope out the casino, and you have to look for points of interest and also access points. Now, access points are areas that you will enter when you attack the casino. And on certain approaches, you can only enter certain ways depending on, for instance, with the big con, on certain disguises that you wear. You also have the points of interest, where the points of interest are like things like security cameras, guards, keypads. I made a guide also on where all the access points and the points of interest are. If you guys want to check that out, that is going to be at the end of this video. But it was very interesting trying to find a lot of the access points and the points of interest going through the casino. You actually felt more like you were scoping it out in comparison to other heists, kind of planning it together. And there was even an access point all the way down the sewer, and I didn't expect that. I actually liked that level of detail that they added there. Once you are done scouting out the access points and also the points of interest, we have to check the vault contents, and the vault contents are randomized. It's either cash, which that one takes the longest amount to get out of the vault, and is also the least valued. We have paintings, which that is kind of average value. That is the quickest to get out of the vault. And then we have gold, which is the most highest value. There's also speculated that diamonds will be added into the DLC. A lot of people have been saying that, but so far we haven't seen it. Maybe it'll be some kind of event. That's supposedly the most valued one out of all of them. But then right after that, we have to choose our approach. And this is where this DLC absolutely excels, because we can now choose our approach. We can choose what we want to do. There's 3 different approaches, and this is exactly what the original heist should have been, because when Rockstar made the original heist, they kind of missed on what people liked so much about heist. They liked the planning, they liked the fact that you could choose different approaches, they liked all the different areas that you could go through with the heist, they liked the different crew members that you could get in there. That's what people liked about the heists in the single player, but the regular online heist, even the Doomsday heist, wasn't that great because you had these annoying setup missions where you were doing the same thing over and over and over again, and some of them were just a real pain. Some of them were very, very difficult. They weren't fun. They were just overly complicated. But with this DLC, we don't have to deal with those setup missions anymore because we can now do everything all in free mode. All of the setup missions that we used to have, they're now preps, and all of them we do in free mode. And we have things that are mandatory preps, so there's things that we need for the heist. We can't start the heist without it. And then we have optional preps. Like, for instance, we have the Duggan shipments. If we destroy all the Duggan shipments, the guards will actually have less armor. They'll have less powerful weapons. We have, the guard intel that'll show us the patrol routes. We get the security intel that'll show us where all the security cameras are. There's a lot of different optional missions that you have, and it'll just help you with the heist. The more optional missions you do, the easier the finale will be. And we have 3 main approaches. We have the aggressive approach, we have the big con, and we have silent and sneaky. But before we can even start doing the heist, we have to choose that approach, and then we actually have to choose the crew with it. This isn't just a player crew. We also have to choose NPCs. We have to choose a driver, which the driver basically controls what kind of vehicle we're going to have spawning for us, what vehicle we steal on the heist and use it to escape. We have the gunman, which that controls what kind of weapons are snuck in or what kind of weapons we use on the heist. And then we also have the hacker, which controls how many attempts we have on the hacking minigame and how much time we have inside the vault. When we're inside the vault, if you actually don't get the stuff in time and the timer goes down to 0, the alarm will go off, and this can actually ruin a stealth heist. But I actually like it. I like that, that pressure to actually try to rush through the vault and try to get everything. It feels more like you're actually doing a heist in a game. It feels a lot of role-playing here, that we're actually rushing through the vault. We're telling our friends, okay, you guys get this side of the vault, I'm getting this side of the vault. We're just rushing through, we're getting everything, and then we get out right before the timer goes off. And when the timer goes off, the gas actually comes into the vault. It's actually pretty epic when you just clean out the vault. We can also even use drills, optional drills that we can steal, and we can actually go into safety deposit boxes. So there's a lot of detail in this heist. There's even a today cash room, which represents how much money the casino made in that day. We can go in there. We can get between like around $20,000 to $90,000 to $100,000 extra just robbing that as well. So there's a lot of variety to these heists. As for the approaches, the aggressive approach is where we go into the casino. We are going to trigger an alarm, so we're going to be shooting our way through. But it's not just shooting your way through. It's a lot more complicated than that, and I actually like the level of detail. We can actually even go through the sewer. We can use the boring machine, the same vehicle that we actually used in the single player, if we do the obvious approach on the Union Depository. And we just go right in, we drill right to the vault, we fight our way through, we get inside, we can destroy the doors with thermite charges, and we can get the loot. As for the big con is personally my favorite approach. This is one where you actually take disguises, and you try to go into the vault, and you try to sneak your way in. There's a bunch of different ones. There's one where Young Ancestor will help smuggle you in. There's another one where you can actually dress up as the Bugsters. This one's a little bit more harder, but I actually like the Bugsters approach because it reminds me a lot of the single player. You actually throw around insects in bags outside the vault. You contaminate the casino, and then when the casino is contaminated, you sneak in, pretend to be Bucksters. You go right up towards Miss Baker's office, hack the elevator, you go downstairs, and then you gotta sneak past the guards. The easiest approach here would be actually the Group A approach, where you actually pretend to be armored truck drivers. You go right to the vault. They literally take you right to the vault. You can actually walk past all the guards, and then you can clean out the vault, and then you can actually walk right past the guards again. But then when you get upstairs, that's when they realize the vault has been hit. And the last approach, we have the silent and sneaky approach. The silent and sneaky approach, that is where we actually go in kind of stealth. We go in kind of special forces, we try to take out guards quietly, get to the vault without even being seen. That's the silent and sneaky approach. And the most common approaches that I've seen, people tend to do the aggressive and the big con the most. Silent and sneaky, that one is a little bit more challenging, requires a lot more coordination, but I also like that approach. I like all the approaches. There isn't one approach that I don't like. And this is what's great about this heist, is that every single approach you like. There isn't really any missions that you don't like. If there's any missions that you don't like, it might be a prep mission. And these are superior to the annoying setup missions that we had with previous heists. Because with previous heists, like I said, we gotta go through these annoying setup missions, and some of these missions can be really complicated, they can be really challenging, they can take really long. You gotta get 4 people in on the original heist, you gotta get at least 1 person in on the Doomsday heist. You gotta load up into a separate lobby and do it, and the checkpoints are just so unforgiving. But what's great about this heist is that pretty much everything is in free mode. The only time you're gonna be in a separate lobby is when you are in the actual finale itself. Other than that, you can do every single prep mission solo. You can also pay for some preps, some of the optional preps, but I don't recommend doing that because it's expensive. But that's what's awesome about this heist. You can do everything in free mode, and on top of that, you can also do it in an invite-only session. That is just awesome. That is what's great about this heist. As for the prep missions, I don't really have that many complaints about them. They're pretty good, they're pretty simple, they're pretty straightforward. I've done all of them solo. Some of them, you know, it's easier to do it with a few people, but I've done all of them solo. It's not that big of a deal to do them solo. Though the one thing that I will say is I appreciate that we can do stealth on a lot of the missions, but I just wish the stealth was just better in some of these missions, and just in GTA overall, because the stealth can be pretty broken in GTA. Like, take a look at this, for instance. In this mission, I was doing the getaway cars. I was getting the getaway cars for one of my heists. I was going through this garage, and there's this cop right here. He doesn't see me. He doesn't see me, the other cops don't see me. I go right up behind him, I melee him, but for some reason, I still get a wanted level. It's just like the game automatically detects that the second that you silently kill a cop, all the cops know that you did it. I wish that aspect of stealth was just fixed. Something like that really needs to be fixed, but other than that, I like the missions. They're very simple. This is superior to the original heist. I don't think I'm going to be doing the original heist anymore. I don't think I'm ever going to do the Doomsday heist. I think I'm just going to do the casino heist because it's just so enjoyable. And even if you do the same heist multiple times, just trying to experiment with all the different paths, trying to check the safety deposit boxes, doing it with different people, different styles, it's just enjoyable doing it all different ways. Even though it's the same heist, there's just so much variety and detail to it, and Rockstar has really done a great job with this. However, though, I will say there was one thing that really disappointed me in this DLC, and that was the Master Control Terminal disabling invite-only sales. Now, the Master Control Terminal is very useful. It's a part of the arcade business. It's actually in the underground part, so it's right near, you know, all your heist stuff. and you can buy supplies from this place. You can even sell some businesses. It's very useful for grinding. All grinders should pretty much get this thing. However, though, a lot of us got really excited because when the Casino Heist came out, we could actually sell in invite-only lobbies the first day. As you can see right here, I was actually helping one of my friends sell an invite-only lobby, and a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, Rockstar finally let us sell in invite-only lobbies, and I told a bunch of people, yeah, this is probably a glitch. There's no way that they're going to let us start selling in invite-only lobbies, and that would have helped with griefing so much. People would have been able to sell their stuff and not have to worry about it getting destroyed. Unfortunately, though, Rockstar has did it where you can't sell in invite-only lobbies. It was a glitch. I was right on that. And they did it where you have to sell in public lobbies again. And if anybody from Rockstar ever watches this video, please let people sell in invite-only lobbies. Let people still sell in public lobbies, but, you know, a lot of people would be very happy if you allowed people to sell in invite-only lobbies, and that would have really sweetened the deal on this DLC. A lot of people would have really been happy if you had let us sell in invite-only lobbies. They did fix other things. They fixed the orbital cannon where, you know, people can still hit multiple times if they leave the session, but they have to pay for it. They put a cooldown on the Oppressor Mark II, so they did listen to some feedback. Hopefully they listen to more feedback in the future and also let us sell in invite-only lobbies. I'm not the only person that feels that way. A lot of people in the community wish you could sell in invite-only lobbies, but let's go on to the pros and the cons here now. And here we have the pros and the cons. And the pros are we have a detailed new heist, we have the Diamond Casino Heist, we have 3 different approaches. The heist has just so much variation to it. Even if we do each approach, there's just so many different possibilities on where we can enter, where we can exit. The heist is very detailed with the amount of preps that we can do. There's also a ton of optional preps that can help us further. This heist adds a ton of content. We have a new arcade property, a new business. Doesn't generate us that much money, but generates us some additional passive income. We have a master control terminal where we can link all of our businesses together in the arcade business. We can run all of them there. We can buy supplies for them. We can source crates from them. That will be a little bit more harder, but it's good to be able to buy supplies from the arcade business and also check up on your other business's progress, see how much they have produced. Very useful for that. We also have the Navy Revolver. I didn't talk about this. This was a new gun that was added. Very useful too. Interesting mystery where you actually find the San Andreas Slasher to get it. And also, we have the Oppressor Mark II and Orbital Cannon patch. The Oppressor Mark II now has a 5-minute cooldown on it whenever it gets blown up. This is what people have been asking for a long time. The Orbital Cannon, while the glitch hasn't been entirely patched, if somebody tries to do it, now they won't have to wait for the cooldown as far as I know, but they will have to pay for it. So it's good that Rockstar is actually fixing this stuff and actually listening to feedback. And the cons of this DLC are that you can't place the getaway car where you want it. This is kind of a small complaint that I have, but I remember in the single-player campaign, whenever we got the getaway cars, we could choose where we wanted to place them. I wish that you could choose where you could place the getaway car around the casino, because it's just random. It's in a random location when you exit. Sometimes it'll be on one side of the casino, sometimes on another side. I wish you could actually choose where to place the getaway vehicle. And also another con is stealth can be glitchy. Now this isn't a fault of the update. Stealth has been glitchy in GTA Online since the launch of this game. But sometimes when you take out an enemy quietly, you still get detected for some reason. Sometimes even when you shoot an enemy right in the head, you'll still get detected. It happens from time to time. Some of the missions, you know, they have improved elements of stealth, but it still can mess up at times. Another con is that we don't have any kind of arcade missions. Now, I like that, you know, the arcade business doesn't require popularity missions like the nightclub. I like that, but I wish we had some kind of arcade-themed missions for the new business, not just for the heist. And my last con is we cannot sell in an invite-only lobby. This update would have got a perfect 10 out of 10. In my opinion, if we were able to sell in invite-only lobbies. As far as my verdict for it, it's 9.5. That is my verdict on this thing. I think it was a great DLC. It had a ton of new content, a new heist, a lot of stuff to do. A lot of people are going to be grinding this heist for the future, and I hope that they add more heists in the future, and we can use that board. And if they add more heists, I hope it's just like this, where we can do our preps in invite-only session. We can do the prep solo. Then on the finale, we actually need more people there. But my biggest con with it is that we couldn't sell in invite-only lobbies. That would have really sweetened the deal with the Master Control Terminal. It's really disappointing that we had a glitch or we could sell in invite-only lobbies. It got people really excited, and then Rockstar patched it pretty soon after that. If they added invite-only sales, I guarantee you a lot of people would be really happy with that. But that's pretty much it for this review. I hope that you guys enjoyed my review. Let me know, what do you think of this DLC? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And if you guys enjoyed the review, drop a like. And if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.